Have you ever looked at your cute little flat-faced kitty, and worried, because it constantly looks like they are crying real, heavy tears over a hidden sadness? Hi, welcome back to Paw and Order. My name is Carl, and today I am gonna teach you everything you need to know about why exotic shorthair cats have eyes that water so incredibly much. These amazing felines are loved all over the world for their sweet, teddy bear looks, their quiet personalities, and their beautifully plush, thick fur coats. However, almost every single person who brings one of these gentle giants home quickly discovers that their large, beautiful eyes require a massive amount of daily care and wiping to stay clean. This constant wetness is a very common problem among pet parents, and many people mistakenly think their cat is suffering from a painful medical infection or a deep emotional sadness. To truly understand why your exotic shorthair cat has such watery eyes, we must first look at the unique shape of their skull, which scientists call brachycephalic. This long scientific word simply means that the cat has a flat, pushed-in face with a very short nose bridge, and a round, compact head structure. Centuries ago, breeders intentionally selected these flat-faced traits to create a cat with the beautiful look of a Persian, but with a much shorter, easier-to-manage fur coat. While this breeding process created an incredibly adorable pet, it also completely altered the natural orientation of the bones and soft tissues inside the cat's face. In a standard cat with a long muzzle, the delicate tear drainage pathways run smoothly downhill, through the nasal passages, allowing old fluid to empty out naturally. However, in an exotic shorthair, this flat skeletal design compresses the internal pathways, twisting the normal channels, and making it physically difficult for fluid to drain away. The main biological mechanism that causes this wetness involves the tiny drainage tubes, located in the inner corner of the eye, which are known as the nasolacrimal ducts. In a normal cat, these natural tear ducts act like a tiny sink drain, carrying away the natural moisture that keeps the eye surface healthy and comfortable. In your flat-faced exotic shorthair, these delicate nasolacrimal ducts are often severely bent, blocked, or completely squeezed shut, due to the short structure of their facial bones. When the natural fluid produced by the tear glands has nowhere to go, it overflows the bottom eyelid and spills directly onto the surrounding facial fur. This overflowing condition is known medically as epiphora, and it is a completely natural physical result of their facial anatomy, rather than a disease. The diagram of standard cat eye anatomy shows how these channels should function, helping us visualize why a flat face completely disrupts this delicate internal plumbing system. Another major physical factor that contributes to this constant watery look is the impressive size and prominent shape of the exotic shorthair's eyes. These cats possess incredibly large, round, and slightly bulging eyes that protrude further out from the protective bony eye sockets than those of standard domestic cats. Because their eyes sit so far forward, the delicate surface area is exposed to much more air, dust, moving wind, and floating household particles than a normal feline eye. This constant environmental exposure dries out the sensitive cornea quickly, causing the cat's internal systems to produce extra tears to protect the eye tissue from irritation. The combination of an overactive tear production system and a completely blocked drainage pipe creates a perfect storm that results in constant wetness. This means your cat's body is actually doing a wonderful job of protecting their vision, even if it leaves their face looking constantly damp and messy. We also need to look closely at the shape of the lower eyelids on an exotic shorthair, because their anatomy can sometimes cause a condition known as entropion. Entropion occurs when the edge of the eyelid rolls slightly inward toward the eyeball, causing the stiff, tiny hairs on the outer skin to rub against the cornea. Imagine having a loose eyelash constantly scratching against your eye every single time you blink, causing immense watering, redness, and physical discomfort throughout the day. This constant mechanical rubbing irritates the eye surface severely, forcing the tear glands to go into maximum overdrive to wash away the painful scraping sensation. If you notice your cat squinting one eye constantly, rubbing their face against the carpet, or showing signs of yellow discharge, you should visit a vet. A professional veterinarian can easily examine the eyelids to see if a simple surgical adjustment is needed to keep the hairs from scratching the eye surface. The constant presence of salty tear fluid on your exotic shorthair's face can quickly lead to a very common cosmetic issue known as tear staining. Tear fluid naturally contains a dark organic compound called porphyrin, which contains iron molecules that turn a reddish-brown color when exposed to oxygen in the air. When this iron-rich fluid sits on your cat's light-colored fur for hours, it leaves a dark, stubborn stain that can look like dark rust marks. If this damp area is left unmanaged, the constant moisture creates the absolute perfect breeding ground for red yeast, bacteria, and fungal infections to grow. This can cause the skin beneath the fur to become intensely itchy, inflamed, and develop a very unpleasant, sour odor that bothers your pet. Managing this staining is not just about keeping your cat looking beautiful for photos, it is a vital step for protecting the health of their facial skin. The very first simple step to handling this watery issue is to establish a daily routine of gentle eye wiping using clean, soft materials. You should never let the wet fluid dry completely into hard, crusty patches on their face, as removing dry crust can pull out their fur and cause pain. Instead, take a soft cotton round or a clean washcloth, and dampen it slightly with lukewarm water, or a veterinarian-approved eye cleaning solution. Gently press the damp cloth against the inner corner of their eye for a few seconds, to soften any damp residue before wiping outward. Always use a completely fresh, clean section of the cloth for each individual eye, to prevent the accidental spread of any hidden bacteria. By making this gentle wiping routine a daily habit, you keep the skin clean and prevent the formation of painful crusts. Our second simple step focuses on keeping the long, fine hairs around your exotic shorthair's eyes neatly trimmed, to prevent them from poking the eyeball. Sometimes, small tufts of hair near the nose bridge can grow long enough to curve backward and touch the wet surface of the cornea. These stray hairs act like tiny paintbrushes, trapping dust particles and scratching the eye every time the cat moves their face around the room. If you possess steady hands, you can use small, blunt-nosed grooming scissors to carefully snip away these long facial hairs under bright lighting. If your cat is squirmy or nervous, you can easily ask your trusted professional pet groomer or veterinarian to trim these hairs during regular checkups. Keeping this facial hair short and neat dramatically reduces mechanical irritation, which naturally lowers the amount of excess tear production throughout the day. The third important step to minimizing watery eyes is to drastically reduce the amount of floating dust and airborne allergens present inside your home environment. Because exotic shorthairs have short nasal passages and exposed eyes, they are highly sensitive to microscopic particles like dusty clay cat litter, cigarette smoke, and strong chemical perfumes. When your cat digs inside a dusty litter box, a massive cloud of fine clay dust rises directly into their flat face, irritating their eyes. You should switch to a high-quality, 99% dust-free cat litter made from alternative materials, like recycled paper, pine pellets, or crushed walnuts. Investing in a quality HEPA air purifier for your main living room will also do wonders for capturing floating dust, pollen, and pet dander. By cleaning the indoor air your cat breathes, you protect their sensitive eyes from external irritants and naturally reduce constant watering. Our fourth simple step involves using a safe, specialized facial powder to keep the damp skin wrinkles beneath their eyes perfectly dry between regular cleanings. After you have thoroughly wiped your cat's face with a damp cloth, you must use a dry tissue to absorb any remaining moisture from the fur. Once the skin is dry, you can use a small makeup brush to gently apply a safe grooming powder, like cornstarch or a specialized pet tear staining powder. Be incredibly careful never to get any of this dry powder directly into the cat's eyeball, as dry powder will cause immediate irritation. This soft powder acts like a protective shield, absorbing fresh tears as they overflow, and preventing the fluid from soaking into the skin. Keeping the facial folds dry prevents the growth of smelly red yeast, and keeps the skin beneath the thick fur perfectly healthy. The fifth crucial step for every exotic shorthair owner is to schedule regular veterinary eye checkups to monitor for potential issues, like corneal ulcers. Because their large eyes bulge outward slightly, these cats are highly prone to scratching their eyes on rough toys, sharp fingernails, or stiff furniture corners. A small scratch on the eye surface can quickly develop into a painful corneal ulcer, causing severe watering, squinting, and dangerous cloudiness. A professional veterinarian can perform a quick, painless test using a special glowing yellow stain called a fluorescein dye check to reveal scratches. If an ulcer is found, the vet can prescribe special antibiotic eye drops that will quickly heal the tissue and protect their vision. Regular checkups ensure that any minor scratches are treated immediately, before they can turn into permanent scars or cause serious vision loss. It is also highly useful to understand how your cat's overall health and immune system can directly affect the amount of wetness in their eyes. Many cats carry a very common feline virus called feline herpesvirus 1, which can hide inside their nerve cells for years without causing any outward problems. When your cat experiences household stress, a sudden change in routine, or a minor illness, this hidden virus can wake up and cause a sudden flare-up. This viral flare-up usually looks like a mild cold, causing an explosion of clear watery tears, sneezing, and clear nasal discharge for a few days. You can support your cat's immune system by feeding them a high-quality, protein-rich diet and keeping their daily stress levels very low. Your veterinarian might also recommend a daily dietary supplement called L-lysine, which helps safely suppress viral replication and reduces the severity of watery eye flare-ups. We must also discuss how to properly introduce these daily eye cleaning routines to your exotic shorthair when they are young, curious kittens. If you grab your cat forcefully, shout at them, or rush the wiping process, you will frighten them and make them hate the sight of the cloth. Instead, you must use the positive reinforcement method, transforming the daily eye wipe into a fun, rewarding game that brings affection and food. Start by letting your cat sniff the soft cloth, and immediately give them a tiny piece of their favorite high-value treat, like fresh chicken. Gently wipe one eye for just 2 seconds, praise them in a happy, soothing voice, and reward them with another delicious treat right away. By keeping the sessions short, calm, and packed with yummy rewards, your clever cat will quickly learn to sit quietly on your lap. As we reach the final step of our process, it is vital to realize that raising an exotic shorthair is an incredibly rewarding experience that brings immense joy. You have chosen to share your home with a uniquely beautiful, gentle feline companion that possesses the sweet soul of a classic Persian cat. Their watery eyes are not a design flaw or a sign of poor health. They are simply a unique part of what makes them so special. When you embrace this daily grooming routine as a natural act of love, rather than a boring household chore, your perspective will shift. You will find that you no longer worry about the dampness on their face, because you possess the simple skills needed to keep them comfortable. Your reward will be a happy, healthy, and fiercely loyal companion who looks up at you with clean bright eyes, and a purr that fills the room. The secret to living happily with an exotic shorthair is to combine a deep understanding of their unique flat-faced anatomy with consistent daily care. Always remember that their watery eyes are caused by compressed tear drainage tubes, large exposed eyes, and unique eyelid shapes that require regular attention. Practice daily eye wiping with soft cloths, trim stray facial hairs carefully, keep indoor dust low, and use safe grooming powders to keep wrinkles dry. Schedule regular veterinary visits to check for corneal ulcers, support their immune health with good food, and always use positive reinforcement to make grooming fun. Thank you so much for watching Paw and Order. My name is Carl, and I hope these steps help you care for your flat-faced friend. If you found these steps helpful, please smash that like button, subscribe for more pet education, and comment below to share your stories.